everyone, I welcome you all to the live session on Linux commands by Intellipaat. In today's session, we will be learning about different commands for text processing in Linux. Before we begin the session, make sure to hit the subscribe button and also hit on the bell icon so that you will never miss an update from us. On saying that, let's see the agenda of the day. Firstly, we will learn about grep, set and awk commands. After that, we will tell you how to create a share folder between Windows and Linux operating system. Then lastly, we will be learning about sort commands and pipes. So guys, this is the agenda of the video. Without any further delay, let's get started.
Right now, let's get started with our first command, which is grep. So first, let us understand what exactly is the grep command used for and what does it mean. Okay, so first, let's look at the full form of grep. So grep stands for Global Regular Expression Print. So basically, it is used for finding patterns within a file or finding patterns in a directory. So it is basically a pattern search tool. So now to search and filter out matches, and we enter in a regular expression with grep. So grep and the regular expression and the file name. So once you give this particular command will search for that particular expression inside the file and give the outputs back to you. So regular expression is a sequence of characters that define a search pattern. So let's say you have a lot of numbers and alphanumeric sentences and words inside a particular document. So you want to find a particular word which starts a particular alphanumeric string which starts with 1, 2 and again ends with 1, 2. In between it can be anything, it can be letters or it can be numbers, but it should start with 1, 2 and end with 1, 2. So now you can write a regular expression for this, and after writing the regular expression you can basically use the grep command to find that inside a file. So you can use this. So now you can see the grep, your regular expression and then the file name. So this is how you search. This is the basic syntax of how you can use the grep command. Now moving ahead, so let's just look at what exactly we are going to do. So we're going to create a file for the grep command, and inside that we'll be entering some data like this. So welcome to Intellipaat course script, and we'll enter some data inside this. Once we've entered that, then we'll start off with doing everything. So here you can see they are searching for Intellipaat, and let's do this process once we've created this file. So let me open. So I've already opened my terminal. So I'm just going to open up, create a file. I'm going to name it as grepdemo.txt, and inside we are going to type in the exact same thing. I just going to be welcome to Intellipaat, and so I'll just make this smaller so that I can type it easily. Okay, so now welcome to Intellipaat course script 2019, Intellipaat course names, Python, Django, Unix, DevOps. Okay, so we've created the script. I think we've done it. So let me just make it bigger. Okay, so now we've created the script. I'll just save this. So we've completed the script, I guess. Yes, yeah. So now I'll just save this. Cool. Now we have the file. Now let's start off with the grep command. So first, what are they asking us to do? So search for the lines that have the word Intellipaat in the dummy.txt file. Okay, let's do this first. Grep. And so this is how you enter the pattern. So here I'm just typing in Intellipaat and it is grep demo.txt. So now you can see there is only one option, welcome to Intellipaat. So let me open this file, grep. So here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 Intellipaats, but it's only showing this because grep command is case sensitive. It only searches for this particular case letters, that is Intellipaat with a small I. So now let me do the same thing with a big I, and now it only shows the words which has the big I. It does not show this. So now how to do this, how to search every single name, not considering its case. It may be lower or upper, just looking at it. So now let us look at it. So now this is what we did, we searched it, but if you take a look at the dummy file, yeah, so this is what I was saying to you. There are 4 Intellipaats, but only one of them has lowercase and others are in different casing. So you can see here the casing is capital P. So it is different casing, so that's why it won't work. So right now you can do this. You can use the option -I. So search for lines that have the word Intellipaat irrespective of the case. So if you use -I before the pattern or before the word you provide, it will not consider if it is lowercase or uppercase. It will print every single word which is found inside, which has the exact same characters. So now let's try this. So it's going to be -I, and now you can see it has found all the 4 patterns, that is Intellipaat, and even if it is case sensitive with a capital I, it is showing that, because this particular option will not consider the cases. It will print every single word. Now one more thing, you can do one more thing to print all of this. So you can see search for the lines that have the words Intellipaat or Intellipaat in them. So in this case you can basically just add a small I or a capital I in front of this particular word, but this time you are not using the option -I. This is another way of doing it. So let's do this. This basically like, so now if I hit enter, sorry, I should remove I. So now you can see again it's printing every single name, because we again are searching for small I as well as capital I. So this is one way of doing it, and the next way is search for the lines that start with the word Intellipaat. So I think you remember all these meta characters. This is for starting. So this is if a particular name or a particular sentence starts with Intellipaat, this or any word, you can add the power in front of it. So that's why it assumes that this particular grep command will search for any sentence with this particular word in front of it. So here you can see Intellipaat, Intellipaat, Intellipaat. So this is what you're going to try now. So now it's grep -I, the power symbol, Intellipaat, and the file name. So now you can see it only produced the 3 sentences where Intellipaat was at the start. So now let's do one more thing. The same thing, but this time let us, I think this meta character is and, no, it's not and. So there is only one thing called 2019. I think we can search for the last word also. So now let us look at that. So here first we are searching for the first character. Now you can do this command to search for the last character. So if you give $, you are basically searching for a word which is at the end of a sentence. So now if I hit enter, now you can see it is 2019 or any word you provide here. H. So there is no word which ends with H. Let's cat this particular file. Okay. So now you can see learning IP, okay, codes, names. Okay, let's search if any sentences are ending with colon. And you can see only the 2 sentences have been printed out. So grep is a very effective pattern searching tool, and you can basically use these meta characters so that you can minimize the number of outputs you are receiving. Now, so this is what they did. Only it will print only the sentence which has Intellipaat at the last, and then one more, search for any line that has a numeric value. Okay, let's try this. So grep and -I guess. I think should we provide I? No, they are not. Okay, so now they are searching for a numeric character, if there is any numeric character or not. So let's try this without the quotes, if it works or not. So you can see machine learning is there. Let's try this once again. So now you can see it is printing every single option, because if you just provide this, it will print only one single output, that to the last output which it was receiving. But when you provide it within the quotes, it searches for every single pattern, and you can see this line has a number, this has a number. So it printed out all the lines which have numbers in them. So again, this is one of the things you can do. And you can do one more thing. You can search for something like this, and A to Z or A to Z, A to Z, A to Z, Z. Invalid range. Okay, so I think I'll have to remove this. I'll just put A to Z. No, it's not finding, because there is no small A to Z and numbers. That's why it's not showing you the output. So now capital A to Z, and now you can see capital A, capital letter, then a number, capital letter and then a number, capital letter and then a number. So it's showing all these 5 outputs. But in the previous example which I tried, there are no small letters with numbers, consecutive numbers. So there are no small letters and consecutive numbers. So that's why it was not showing the output. But in the last try, yes, a capital letter is in succession with the numbers. So that's why it is showing that. Now going back to the PPT. So I see, you can see they are doing one more thing, and This they are using IP100 and searching for two numbers. If IP100 and there are two numbers, it will print them as well. Search for course IDs. Exclude the lines that has no characters in them. So let's try this. So I think this is for first and this is for last. So now it's not printing anything. I think we'll have to put I. We'll have to use the option V. Okay. So for this particular command to work, you'll have to use the option V. So what V does is it will so first what we are doing is we are searching for a starting and an ending, but as you can see here in cat, you can see there are 1, 2, 3 and 4 lines which are empty. So we don't want these empty lines to be visible. We just want to print all of this in a sequence without any spaces in between. So now what that V option does is it will, even though grep commands finds out that there are no sentences, it is printing the 4 lines without anything. So if you are using V, what it does is it will not print these lines, it will print the lines apart from this particular lines. So that's what happens here. You can see you are getting an output, but exactly you are getting the output, you are not able to see it because they are empty lines. So that's why you are seeing these. But if you use V, it will print every single line except the spaces. So now you can see. So you can check this out with another thing. So let's say starting with Intellipaat. No, it should be capital I. And now you can see no sentence here starts with capital I Intellipaat, because this particular option will print every single line without this particular pattern. This is how you again use this particular command. I think we've covered many types of pattern searching here. So in this particular session, we'll be learning the sed command or the SCD command. So first, let us look at what exactly is this command and why do we use it. So first, SCD is the abbreviation for stream editor. So now the basic purpose of this particular command is, let's say you have a particular file in which you have some contents. So now you want to change a word, you want to replace a word. So you can enter a word to replace it with that particular word in the entire document. So for that you can use this particular command. So that's why it's called a stream editor. So you can see the process of it. First scans the file line by line, then applies the regular expression. So the regular expression can be anything. It can be a word or it can be an expression like a square bracket 0 to 9. So first character should be number, second character should be a word. So like that you can create your regular expression, and then once the sed command works, then finally it will give you the output, but by default it doesn't modify the original file. So while delivering your output in the terminal, while you're viewing that particular output, you will be able to see the changes, but if you open that file again, the changes will not be made in the file. So it only changes it temporarily and sends it to you. So it does not change the file as a whole, it will only change the output. So that's the best part about sed or SCD command. So now let's get started with the command. So right now we already have this file, so we're going to perform the same operations, perform sed operations on the same file. So let's go ahead. Okay, so what should we do first? So first, stream an output by replacing the string Intellipaat to Intellipaat home with the help of s flag. Okay, so s flag, you can see SCD s/Intellipaat home dummy.txt. So here you can see Intellipaat has been changed to Intellipaat home when it got printed. So let me go up. So you can see here SCD/existing string/new string, and here in front you will have to provide the s. So you'll have to provide the s flag to make this happen. So let's look at the next one. But as you can see, the original file has not been modified. You can see here you got the output Intellipaat home, but when we are trying to cat the exact output of the same file, but that particular change is not being made in the file because change was only when it was a stream output. So once it was getting out, it changed it and showed it to you temporarily. That's it. So this is what happens with sed. So now let's go ahead and do the first command. So I'll open. So our file is already existing, so let's start off with it. S and Intellipaat, this is the existing string. Intellipaat home, this is the replacement string. So this is the final string which this particular string should change. So Intellipaat should be changed to Intellipaat home. So now let's give the file name, and you can see here it has been changed to Intellipaat home. Let's do the same command with capital I over here. And you can see every single Intellipaat with the capital I changed to Intellipaat home. But we cat this file, grep demo. But you can see here the changes have not been made in the file. As I was telling you, that is the purpose of set. So let's go back to the PPT and do the next command, which is substitute only the first occurrence in every line. So S0 star. So let's see the output. You can see here S, you'll have to provide it, and then 0 and star and ending it. So here you can see welcome to Intellipaat, and here you can see the 0 character has become star, 0 0 star 0 star. Basically they are just making the first 0 which is coming in a line. So in this line this is the first 0, in this line this is the first 0, in this line this is the first 0. So whenever the first 0 has been noticed, it will be changed to star. So that's what you are seeing, first occurrence in every line. So let's go ahead and do one for this. So it's going to be 0, so 0, and let's change it to it and this is our file name. So done. Okay, I made a mistake. This is a mistake. S command unterminated. What is the problem here? This is working. Why not this? Okay, I think this is the problem. Let's change it to star, and now it works. So it thought the AND command was a meta character, so I think that's the problem. So now you can see the changes being made. It has become star, it has become star. The first occurrence of 0 in every single line has become star. So this is how you can change this. You can use sed for this. And going ahead to the next slide, and here they are changing every occurrence in every line with the help of S and G flag. So G flag is going to help in changing every single 0 in every single line to star. So for first occurrence you don't need G, you just need S, 0 and star. So now if you want to make the changes, that is 0 and star, in every single line and every single occurrence, then you will have to add this G flag. So let's try that. It is the same command, but we are just adding a G. And now you can see every single occurrence has become star. Every single 0 occurrence has become star. So this is how you can do it with sed. So now we'll look at the next command. So SCD, though it's the same command, but what we are doing here is we are copying the contents which is going to be displayed into another file. So once it is copied to another file, we are basically displaying the contents of that file and checking whether the changes has been saved inside that. So I think this is very useful when you are trying to make some changes but keeping the old file the same, but you want to make the new changes and push it into a new file. So SCD and S, you need the S flag, and after that you can put 0. Then we're going to change it with, okay, so I have opened the terminal, so let's type in the same command. So where to type it, you can just check it out in the history. Yeah, we got it. So now use this particular character, which basically denotes to copy the contents of this output into the new file. So let us name it as new file itself, new file 1.txt. So done. Let's cat the new file, and you can see the changed output stored inside this file. So this is again one amazing use of the SCD command. So the next command, so let's see what they are doing here. So make multiple substitutions using S flag and -e option. So using -e, you can make multiple changes. So you can see here S, A, star and G. So they're making changes of they're making the change of A to star. But the thing is, if you type in this particular string, it will not consider the next string. But using the -e option, so when you type in -e and type in a particular regular expression, and again put in -e and type in the same syntax, it will assume that this particular syntax is separate and this particular syntax is separate, and that is how it works. So let's try again with the E option. I'll just remove this quickly. So now you'll just have to add a E in front, and then again another E to show that this is again separate. And then we are going to change all, what can we change? We'll change all T's to ats, then G. Okay, so now we are going to change every single occurrence of 0 to star and every single occurrence of T to at, and yeah, so and we've done it. So you can see every single occurrence of T has changed to at, every single occurrence of 0 has changed to star. So let us add one more just to check whether the multiple option works with 3 options as well. So now let's change, what can we change here? Okay, we'll change n to exclamation and every single occurrence.
Just a quick info, guys. Intellipaat provides Linux online training mentored by industry experts. The course link is given in the description below. Now, let's continue with the session.
I think I made a mistake here. E S T or N, and let's just put hashtag /G, and yeah, so I don't know why it did not work here. So you can see it's showing something. Oh, I think again it is a matter of the special character. Okay, that's fine. So now we've changed the character 0 to star, T to @ N to hash. So you can see N has been changed to hash, T has been changed to @ 0 has been changed to star. So using the -e flag, you can put in multiple conditions for the sed command and change all of those things which you want to change. So this is again one other use. Then let's check the next command. Okay, so now substitute the string AA with ** with the help of s flag only in the first and third time. So guys, it is not just you can make first occurrence or multiple occurrences. You can also change particular occurrences. So here we are just going to change the first occurrence and the third occurrence, that is the first line and the third line, not any other line. So here you can see in the first line you have you'll have two A's here, you'll have two A's here, but again you have two A's here, you have another two A's here, but they did not change because they only changed it to the first line and the third line, and the other lines were not checked. So that's what they are doing here. So for this particular command to work, you will have to first mention the lines which has to be searched for. So first they have mentioned 1, 3, so it searches the first and the third line, and it changes the values of A, which is consecutive A's, to star. So now let's try this. Again, it's going to be the same command, sed, and then now the only change is this. You'll have to enter the lines which you want to check for. Once you enter the lines, just a second, I'll just clear all this. Okay, so now first you'll have to enter the line you have to check for, and then you'll have to start entering the command S, and it's going to be AA, and it's going to be star, done. I think we don't need this. No, I think we need this. It's fine. Grep demo txt. So now you can see the first and the third line have been changed, but not the fifth and the 12th line. So now let's try for the fifth and the 12th line. 5th and 12th, and now you can see the 5th line has been changed and the 12th line has been changed, but not the first line and the second, third line. So this is how you can use sed command to change particular lines as well. Going back to the slides, let's check the next command, and this is print only one specific line from a file. You can also do this with sed command. So now sed -n asks for the line number. You can see 5p. This script starts here. So sed -n 5p. So let's type in this particular command. Let's see what will be the output. Sed -n 5p, and it's Intellipaat course names. So now let's do a cat, and this was the line which got printed because we are printing the 5th line. So now let's print the 7th line, and it's Django because Django is the 7th line. You can see that 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So 7th line has been printed. So again, to print specific lines, you can use the -n option, and you'll have to enter the line which has to be printed. And then we have another command which is sed. This is to print only 5th and 7th line. Again, going back, we'll do the same thing with 2. So now it prints 5 to 7, the line 5, line 6, the line 7. Or I think you can do this -e. Yeah, So now it's printing only the 5th line and the 7th line and not the 6th line. Here we just entered 5,7p. So it printed all the lines from 5 to 7. So going back here. So here you can see this is what they are doing. They are printing from the line 5 till the line 7. So print only from line 5th line to the 7th line of the file. And now delete one specific line from a file. So to print its p, so that's what we saw here. To print its 5p means print the 5th line. So to delete the same thing, it is 3d grep. So now you can see third line is not available because we deleted the third line. So let's try it once again. Now let me give one more 7d. It did not delete it because it was not able to read it. So you know what you'll have to do here.
Just a quick info, guys. Test your knowledge of Linux by answering this question. Which command is used to create Linux file system? A. fsck, B. mkfs, C. mount, D. none of the above. Comment your answer in the comment section below. Subscribe to Intellipaat to know the right answer. Now, let's continue with the session.
And now you can see the third line is gone and the 7th line Django is gone. So this is how you remove specific lines from the output. And then finally, I think we have 2 more commands. Okay, so the next command is remove the blank lines from a file. So this we did with grep command also. Now let's do with the sed command also. So let's do this with the next command. We'll check the next command as well, making inline changes. So here you can see sed -i saa star star g, and every single a has been changed to star star. I think here you can see star 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 star, and this is what make inline changes is. You can change every single line's value, and this will not just see a particular value, it will check every single line. That's why we provide I. Okay, so fine, let's try both of these commands right now. So right now, first it said it's going to be power $, and it's going to be D and the file name. So now you can see the spaces of the file of this file have been removed. So every single space has been removed and the file has been given like this without any spaces. So the first command was this, and the second one was -i s. So we are going to change a's to star. Okay, I found the mistake I made. So let me do a cat, and now you can see the changes have been made inside the file itself. So let's do this once again, but we'll reverse this process. I'm going to change all the stars to AAs. Done. I think we changed every single thing to A. So what we did here was basically trying to change every single star into AA, but I think it considered it as every single character because star means everything, so it just changed every single value. So that's what happened here. So that's fine. Okay, so right now I think we've completed the sed command, and we'll just recap it once. So basically sed is a stream editor. So we can modify texts in a file while the output is being received, or even inside the file. So we've checked few different ways of using this particular file. We changed a string to another string. We changed a particular letter to another letter. We eradicated all the spaces. We changed all particular letters into stars, and we also made that change only occur in few lines and deleting few lines, and then just changing a particular letter which occurs the first time in a line, then which occurs every single time in a line. So all of that we did. So we did all these examples. I think you are pretty much capable of understanding all these right now. So I think you would have grasped it, and I suggest you to try this once again to have a better understanding of this particular module, or the awk command. First, let us look at what exactly is this command, what is the purpose of this, and then let's proceed with doing some examples of this command. First, awk is mostly used for transforming data files and producing formatted reports. So awk option selected criteria action input file into output file. So this is the basic template of how you can write the awk command. So awk, then you have some options. We'll see that while executing it. So options and then selection criteria. What should be the pattern which should be selected? And then the input file. From which file should this pattern be selected? And then to which file this output should be written into. Now remember, it requires no compiling. You don't need to compile anything. Allows the user to use variables, numeric functions, string functions, and logical operators. So that's what they're saying. Inside action, you can basically use numeric functions, string functions, and also use variables and logical operators. So what are the operations which we can do? So scans a file line by line. First, there is the first operation the awk command does. Second, splits each input line into fields. So now let's say there are 10 lines. So all the 10 lines will be split into separate lines. Now compares the input line / fields to pattern. Now you would have provided a pattern. So now each line will be checked for the exact same pattern. If that pattern is available, and then it will perform the actions which you have mentioned. So it will compare those lines and then perform the actions which you have provided on those matched lines. So let's say if you are providing hello and that is a pattern, and this particular file is checked for the pattern hello. If the hello pattern is found, then it will do the actions which you have told it to do on that particular keyword, that is hello. Now let's create a small file with records of status of 2 active servers in the network. So here's what the file looks like. So we are creating a particular file, cat data.csv. So id will create this file right now. So now it's fine. And the next one, awk print data.csv. So right now the only operation here is printing out the contents of that file. So you can also do it with other command, that is the cat command. So again, you're using awk command to do the same. So now first let us create this file and then let's proceed. Okay, so first I'll open the file data.csv. CSV is basically a comma separated value file, and it's mostly record fields like this. So first let me just check the columns: id, date, service, and status. id, date, id, okay, no, date, service, and status. Going back, I'll just make this small and this big. Again, make this small. Okay, so now it's 1 2019 to 10 httpd. So just remember that just provide one space in between everything. You don't need to it does not need to be in the same line like this, but so let's say id 1 and then one space date, then one space date. So that's how you'll have to create your list. And then 2 and 3 4 5 6 2019 to 11 2019 to 11. Here it is Nginx and it's okay. Here it is httpd and warning. It's 2019. So this is Nginx and warning, okay. And finally it's 2019 to 12 Nginx, okay. So now we've created the file. Let's do a cat data.csv. Just a second, I'll just remove that extra 6. Yeah, I have removed it. So now let's start off with the execution process. So now let's go back here. Okay, so the first thing we'll be doing is we'll be printing it. So to print its awk, inside parenthesis you will have to provide the action print. So it's the command is awk and a single quotes parenthesis print close parenthesis, and then you'll have to provide the file name. So now it'll do the same exact thing as the cat command, but we are printing it using the awk command. Now going back, let's look at the next command we'll have to execute. Now print all the records. Again, it is the same thing here. It's printing the entire file. It's printing all the records. Print $0 data.csv. Let's try this once again. So first, so it printed. So now it's $0. So again, it prints every single record. $0. Now going back, let's see the next one. So now print out list by pattern making, awk/pattern, and printing that particular pattern. So we are going to print a particular pattern. So here you can see they're just printing the lines which have engines. Wherever the engines server is running, they're using that particular name as the pattern here. So engines is the pattern and they're printing every single line under engines. So let's try this. Awk, and it's going to be engines slash. Now you'll have to provide the action, provided the action. Now data.csv, and I think I made a mistake, and the mistake is put in AWS instead of AWK awk. So now you can see all the lines which had engines in it has been printed. So now let's try the same thing with OK. Now every single line with OK has been printed. So this is one use of awk. Now the next thing is print number out each record / rows in the file. So we have seen we basically created this file and we've created 6 different rows, but even the line which has the headers, that is ID, date, service and status, even they are considered to be a single row. So now using this nr value print nr number of rows, comma $0 is printing every single line. So now let's try that. Awk print, I'll have to provide the single quotes, print nr $0 and data.csv. Okay, again I made a mistake while entering this. So it's awk. I think I made another mistake. So file name is equal to data.csv, division by 0 attempted. Okay, sorry. Here they were given a comma, but here I've given a backslash. Okay, now got it. So you can see here, you can see these numbers 1 to 7. So there are 7 rows inside this particular file, inside the data.csv file. So this is how you can print the number of lines in it. Going back, the next command is nf, and this is going to print the number of columns in your particular field. So you can see here there are 4 columns. That is ID, date, service and status, and you can see every single value here is 444 because it's just printing the number of fields or number of columns in every single row. So now it's the same command, just change nr to nf. That is number of rows, this is number of fields. And you can see here number of fields is 444 because we have 4 columns. Now going back, okay, so next formatting output with output record separator, ORS. So now you can see this awk begin ORS is equal to new line print $0. So you can see the output, what exactly it's doing. So it's printing the output records. So it's printing every single record by a single space. So first it is printing the header and then leaving a line, and it's printing it again, the second line, and then the third, fourth, and they come in order with a space. So that's what happening here. So now let's try this. So first it's awk, so this time I got it right. Next we'll have to provide begin. So we can execute it like this. So the command is begin, and inside this you are going to provide the actions. So begin is not the action, it is just mentioning it. Begin basically tells this particular command is going to be executed, and inside this we are providing the actions, that is ORS equals new line and close parenthesis. Next, to provide the next action, you'll have to open another parenthesis and $0, close parenthesis and close quotes, and now the file name. And I think now you can see it, awk beginners ORS /n/n, and you can see there is a space in between every single row. Now we can try one more thing. We'll try a /t. And now you can see after the first line, the second line was basically it moved it a tab. So here tab, and then we can do one more thing, and you can see every single line has been put into a tab format. First row, second row, third row. Only the tab is separating them. But using this particular command, first line space, then it should be the next line, because we are just changing the number of lines, not the tabs. So when you're using tabs, basically it's creating a tab space over here, but while using /n, it is printing the line in a new line. Now going back, so we've done until this. So this they're doing one more thing. So now here it was /n/n, The next command is, here you can see OFS minus minus. So OFS is output field separator and ORS is output record separator. So as you know, the record separator is separating the records here, and the field separator is separating the number of fields. So here you can see only the ID and the date has been printed, but you can see which is under ID and which is under date because of the separator in the middle. Now let's try this. It's going to be the same kind, because we are only printing $1 and $2. That is the first column and the second column. And here awk begin OFS, the same type of command, but here instead of print $0, we are putting print $1 and 2. So $1 means the first column, $2 means the second column. Here dash dash is the separator. So now let's try this command. It's going to be the exact same command, but here it has to be OFS because it's field separator. Here it's going to be minus minus, and here we are going to print $1 and $2.
Just a quick info, guys. Intellipaat provides Linux online training mentored by industry experts. The course link is given in the description below. Now let's continue with the session.
And now you can see we have only printed the first column and the second column, and you can see there is a separator in between as well. So we can provide any kind of separator in between. We can provide spaces, we can provide any characters, and then you can also change it over here. So you can also print the column 1 and column 3. You can see that. And you can see I only printed the column 1 and column 3 using $1 and $3. So this is how it works with awk going back. But when it comes to real life problem scenarios, text processing becomes more complex because the files are huge and the commands will become huge, and it will take a lot of time for you to type it and gather the outputs. So instead of writing the awk command every time, having an awk program in a separate file makes more sense. So having an awk file in a separate program is basically creating a shell script for your awk file. So now you can see this, create a file to store the awk commands, and here you can see vi awk -l, and they are storing a command here. So now the next thing they are doing is they are doing the exact same thing, but instead of typing in the command, they are calling the file. So and the file is doing the work for them. And so first let us do this. First I've created a file awk1, and inside this we'll have to enter the command. So I think how have they entered it? First begin command and then the print command. Okay, begin ors equals /n close brackets close parenthesis. Think yeah, it's double quotes. So we entered the first part. Next is printing it. So print open parenthesis print. We'll have to print the entire file. So this is it. So done. So we've entered in the awk commands. So right now guys, we'll have to do the exact same awk operations here. So you can see here awk -f, we are calling in a file. We are not typing in the command again. We are not typing begin ors and all those print statements over here. We are just calling in the function and we should get the output. So now awk -f flag is to call a file. So if I put -f and type in the file name, this particular command, which is again I have put AWS. So if I type in awk -f and type in the file name, then the awk command will understand this particular file should be called and the file should be read for an awk command. So that's why we are providing awk here. Now awk -1, that is awk -1 is my file name, and then data.csv is the file which should be searched upon. So now I'm hitting it. Now you can see the entire file has been printed. Now opening this file, it should have printed it like this. So ors print $0. Okay, so we are printing $0 as well. Okay, let's try this once again. So I've provided begin ors is equal to I'll try this. Still the same. I think it does not have execution permissions. Just a second. Now awk minus f, awk minus awk -1 data.csv, and it's still printing the same. So I'm just trying to debug it. So right now I've provided the same command, but let's try one more thing. Let's just put them in the same line. And it's still printing the same way. So I think we've achieved what we wanted, because we are calling a awk file from another file instead of entering the command itself. So let's try one more thing. We will create another file. So this file will use OFS, and we will print the first 2 rows. And now you can see it is printing, but the begin command is not working here. So that is the problem why we are not receiving it, but the print command is working properly. So we can see here, here we are calling it. Here you can see begin ORS /n/n and print $0, and once it is saved and used to run, so it is printing the exact same thing in the same way the awk command did. Now coming down, now that we are familiar with small data files, we should be able to process data from large data files that comes in different formats. Now let's see how to extract data from a zipped file. Since we are using virtual machine, we will be mounting a folder from our primary operating system to the operating system that we are running on the virtual machine. Okay, so we've completed the awk command. So now what we are going to do is we are going to do 2 more things. Okay, so now we've seen some commands in the previous sessions. So now in this session we'll be doing 2 demos. So basically it's one demo but 2 different parts. The first thing, we'll be mounting a file from our host operating system, that is our Windows operating system, to this particular CentOS distribution. So now this folder will be a shared folder between the Windows system as well as the Linux system. So if I put some files inside that folder in the Windows system, then I can see that in the Linux system. If I add some files in the Linux system in the same folder, it will be I'll be able to see the same files in my Windows system. So it is pretty easier to copy files from your local to your virtual machine. So it's pretty simple. You'll have to create a shared folder, and after that you'll have to run some commands which will make it a shared folder. So now let us look at that. Also after that, in the shared folder I'll be having a zipped file. So what I'll be doing is I will be unzipping it using a tool called unzip in the Linux distribution, and it's just another demo of showing you how to unzip and use a file. Okay, so now let's get started with it. First, okay, so the first thing you'll have to do is you'll have to go to your Oracle. Repeat. So the first thing you'll have to do is you'll have to go to your VirtualBox. So now I'm in my VirtualBox. So now select the virtual machine for which you want to add the shared folder to, and then click on settings. And then under settings you have the shared folders option. Click on shared folders. You can see I already have a shared folder. Let it be. So I'm not going to change this. I'll show this particular output also. So now to add another folder, just click on this plus and then give the folder's path. So currently I don't have any files, so I'll just create one more file here. So you can see this shared folder is what I created. So I'm going to create a folder here. I'll name it as share. Let it be share itself. So it's share, and I'm selecting this folder, and then yeah. So please don't check this read only or auto mount. Just leave it, and then just click on OK. So now okay. So once you added that, which file should be your shared folder, then just start your instance normally and then open your system. So again you will get the Linux boot screen, and then it will load. Okay, so my system has loaded and I'm logging in. So once I've logged in, we have some commands. First let us look at the document. Okay, so here I have the document. So first open VirtualBox, then go to settings, shared folders, create, so basically adding a new folder. So this part, so adding a new folder, and then so here you see in the folder name field, yeah, it's the folder name, it's fine. Uncheck read only, yeah, we did that, we started our VM. And this part you can see here, this I think we did this in the first module itself. We already added the guest additions. The guest additions is already added, so we don't need to do this step again. So as it is already added, we'll have to start from this step. We have already started the VM, so now we'll have to create a directory in the home folder, home directory, and then we'll have to mount it. So now let's get back here. Okay, so I'll open the terminal. So once I open the terminal, so what I'm going to do is, first I'll do an ls. You can see here I already have a folder named as shared folder. So right now it is not shared folder because I think I removed it. Now let's view it, and you cannot see anything. So if I do this, and so right now I don't have any shared folders because I removed this. So now let us just get back. Now let us start from the first. So first we've added the shared folder which we want to have between the Windows operating system as well as the Linux operating system. So now we've done until this part because we've already added the guest additions. We don't need to do that. So now the first thing you'll have to do is you'll have to create a shared folder. So because we already have a folder in our desktop, so we already have a folder here. This is what we are going to use. So for that you will have to create a directory here. So make directory, use the negation symbol. So why negation and slash is because this would differentiate between a normal directory and a shared directory. So now I'm just going to name it share. I'm going to name it the same name, enter. So it's the best practice to give the same name to the directory which you are creating in the Linux system as well as in your Windows system, so that you will not have many confusions. So now we have created the folder. So the first step is done. Second step is to mount it. So to mount it, you can see that to mount it, the keyword or the command is mount itself. Mount -t, and this shows the virtual box is going to create a file system.
Just a quick info, guys. Test your knowledge of Linux by answering this question. What approach does an application use to communicate with the kernel? A. System calls. B. C programs. C. Shell script. D. Shell. Comment your answer in the comment section below. Subscribe to Intellipaat to know the right answer. Now let's continue with the session.
vboxsf share. So this is your file name, folder name, and for us it is share, and then it's the same. It is the folder which you have created. This is the folder which is in your local system. So sudo mount -t vboxsf share negation / share, and it will be mounted. So now let's try that. Sudo mount, and then -t is to provide which particular entity is going to mount your folder. So it's going to be vbox, that is virtualbox sf. So now we've entered that. Next you'll have to enter the name of the folder which is in your Windows operating system, and then negation / share. This is the name of the folder in your Linux system. Hit enter, enter your root password, and mounting would have been done. Now if I do an ls, you can see a green shade in above it. So this means this is a shared folder right now. So if it is a shared folder right now, there are no files. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a file from this directory to the shared folder. So I'm going to move let's move the dummy.txt into the shared folder. So now I've moved the dummy file. So we'll have to now change directory. So once if we change directory, we can see whether it is moved or not. And now you can see the dummy.txt file is available. So if I go to my shared folder in my Windows system, now you can see the dummy.txt file is available here as well, because it is a shared folder. It is a shared folder between the Linux system as well as the Windows system. Now if I copy this and paste it here, obviously this should be available here right now, and you can see it is available because again it is a shared folder. So guys, we've done the first part, that is mounting the file, mounting a folder between the Windows operating system and the Linux operating system. Now the next step is to unzip this file. So to unzip this file, I think we have a file called tool called bzip. Let me just check whether it is available or not. Bzip2, yeah, bzip2 is available. So again, see, this is the block sorting file compressor. It is again, it's a zipping file. So there is one more tool, sudo yum, and it is unzip. But the problem right now is I don't have internet. I did not connect to internet. So let me try this once again. Okay, so now let's try with this package, dnf install unzip. Sorry, I forgot, sudo yum install unzip. I forgot the install part. So now I think it'll install it. So once it has downloaded and installed it, we can use the unzip command to just unzip this file, the file which we have, the zip file. So once we are unzipped, then we would know how exactly to do that. So let's see. So you can see it's the packages are getting downloaded. So once they are downloaded, they will install automatically. Once they are installed, we are good to go, and it's done. Okay, so now we have the file sales jan 2019.zip. Now the command is unzip sales, and yes, and now you can see there is the CSV file. Now let's use this command as well to check it. Sales jan zip, and right now you can see bz2. Basically bz2 is a file which will not exactly unzip it, but it will compress it once again. So now if I use the unzip command to unzip salesjan 2009.zip.bz2, and so it's not able to unarchive it. So for this I think we need another tool, but right now we have already unzipped it. So first install unzip, guys. Once you install unzip, you can use the unzip tool to unzip any zip file. So once it is unzipped, as it is a CSV file, let's do a cat and check what is available inside it. So before that, just give me 1 second. I will remove this file bz2. Yes, I've removed that file. So now this is what we are going to do. So awk, so this is the command we are going to run over here. So it's awk single quotes begin parenthesis, and then we'll have to provide OFS, and I'm going to give this. I'm going to separate fields, parenthesis. Now I'm going to print only 2 columns. I don't want every single column. Okay, so now I'll provide the file name, sales jan, what was the file name, 2009.csv. okay, now I will provide sort. I want to sort it as well. Next I'll provide grep, and I'll search for the name John. Okay, let's do the 2 commands. I think, why is it happening right now? Let's first run one command. Let's check. Okay, I got what is the problem. So let me go back here. So now here I've given single quotes, but here I have not given it. I'll just close it. So right now it's not, it's running, but there is no John, I guess. And now you can see it is working. So transaction date, it's printing the first 2 fields. So it's printing everything here. Let's try ORS record, new line, and it's printing 1 field. Let me remove this and put 0. And now you can see it has printed all the lines, as well as it has sorted it. And here you can see according to the dates it has been sorted, 1209, 1409. It's coming down. So it has been sorted. So I'm going to search a particular area name. I'm going to search Manhattan. Let's search Manhattan, or some easier name which is multiple times. I'm not seeing any name here which comes multiple times. I'm just going to search hills, because hills is repeating a lot. So let me come down. Okay, so I'm going to grep hills. Okay, so right now we are running again 2 commands. So now you can see there are hills. There are no hills here. Dinners, Katrina. Okay, so sort, and then grep. What can we grep? Can we grep CA? Okay, so now you can see it has grepped it. It has as well as sorted it, and it checked for CA in every single line. But the problem is we are printing every line. So you can see $0. We are printing every line. That is the problem. So right now what we can do is we can do this, and now grep CA, the file name, sales jan. Okay, now pipe, and right now you can see somewhere over here it was searching for it. Okay, I think so. I'll try this once again separately. Okay, so right now I'm just doing a grep here, and So I'm just showing these examples so that you can also know that you can do these with bigger files as well. So we did mounting the shared directory, we unzipped it, as well as I showed you how it works with the shared directory. So now if you just get out of this, now you're out of the shared directory and it is still a shared directory, but once you restart this, it won't be a shared directory anymore. So now to make that constant, to make this particular directory always a shared folder, what you can do is we have some commands and we'll have to use them. So the first command would be to change the contents of this particular file by adding, coming down, so we'll have to add this particular line inside the fs tab, that is file system tab. So let me open this sudo nano, so you can see here sudo nano etc f file system tab, and so inside this we are going to add this particular line, which should be, I'll just make this smaller so it will be easier to look at. Okay, so this is the line, that is, so now I'll just make this smaller instead of that. Okay, got it. So now I'm going to add this particular line, sorry guys. Okay, so now share, okay, share. So here you should not give a space, it's a tab, then home, your username, and then the shared folder's name, and then another tab, vbox sf, another tab, defaults, then save it. Done. We've done one part. Second is you'll have to open etc modules. So inside this you'll have to add this particular command, that is $vboxsf. So right now we don't need to add it. Add the following line inside etc modules and save it. So here I think we'll just have to provide vboxsf. So let's provide vboxsf and save it. So done. Next, so now if we log in and restart, so when we restart this particular command, we should be able to see the folder. So let's try that. I'm just rebooting the system from here itself. Done. So once it restarts, if the folder should again be a shared folder. So let's wait until it gets restarted. Okay, so the system got rebooted. Let's check it. So I'm opening it. Obviously it'll take some time to open, so let's wait. Once it's opened, then we can check it. So it has opened. Now I'll open my terminal and let's do an ls in our terminal. So when I do an ls, this particular, okay, so now let me just make it bigger. Okay, so now if I do an ls, yeah, and the folder is still a shared folder, so it is still existing. So that's why you'll have to provide those two lines in those two files. Only if you provide that, then the system will understand this folder is here permanently, not a temporary folder. So if you did not do those two steps, your system will assume that this particular folder is a temporary folder. So that's what I did with this. I did not do those two lines, so that's why it considered this as a normal folder right now, and then it took off the mounting part, so it unmounted it automatically. Right now it is still mounted because I've added those two lines in file system tab as well as in the modules directory. So once I've added that, so that's why it is still a shared folder. If I do an ls, if I go into this folder, and you can see those files are still available and the same files are still available here. So I think we've done this part as well. So let me go back to the slides. Sort command and the pipes command. So first let us look at what is sort and how it works, then we'll look at what is piped and how it works, then we'll do a simple hands-on. So to start with, as the name suggests, obviously the sort command is for sorting contents of a file. The simple syntax is sort and then space and then give your file name, and then the contents of that file will be sorted automatically. Now first, numbers are sorted to be ahead of letters, lowercase letters are sorted to be ahead of uppercase letters. So these pointers we'll understand better when we see the output of the example which is here. So you can see here some animal names are repeated as well as with different casing as well as with different numbers. So you can see I'm displayed the contents of animals.txt file. You can see cow, dog, horse, pig and monkey. Then again there are two more monkeys with small letters in the start as well as numbers are different. So now sorting the same file. So you can see first it's cow 1, then dog 2, horse 3, they are the same. And then uppercase letters, you can see the lowercase letters are at the first and then the uppercase letters. First C, D, H are C is the first letter because A, B, C, and then D and then H, and then M. In monkeys you can see that monkey 2 is coming first and then capital monkey 2 is coming second and finally monkey 3. So here you can understand these pointers. Lowercase letters are sorted to be ahead of uppercase letters. So in this case, So in this case, monkey2 and monkey2, here the only difference is this particular capital letter, and here lowercase letters are sorted first, after comes the uppercase letter. And also one more pointer is numbers are sorted to be ahead of letters. So here you can see, even though the casing is different, but first what they checked was the numbers. There it is 2 and 3, so 2 is smaller than 3, so obviously this comes before and then this comes after, and then P and 9. So you can see this 9 is the biggest number, so that it comes last. So now let's try the same thing in our virtual machine. First I'll have to create a file, and let me create that file, animals.txt, and then let me give it a name, a cow 2, dog, now I'm just going to put pig 7, horse 3, and again monkey 2, monkey 3, lion 33, and then what else? I'll give one more monkey 2. Okay, so I've given few names. This is my file, so I think you can see this very well. So this is the file. Now let's sort it and see the output for ourselves. And okay, so now you can see cow. So this was the order, but here you can see cow 2, horse 3, because small letters as well as the number 3. And then you can see line 3. Why line 3? Because you provided 33, but obviously the command will not know that this is 33. Instead, it will understand that this has 3. So that's what it's here. So 2, 3, 3. And then comes monkey 2, and monkey 3. So CHL, and then comes M, and then comes P. So first it's the letters as well as the numbers accordingly. So the first checking point for sort command is the first letter. So it will always put the smallest letter in the first. It will be in ascending order. It will be in alphabetical ascending order. And the second point which it checks is the numbers. So here you can see 2, 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, and 7. So obviously even the numbers, so these 3 ascending, these 2 ascending, again these 4 are in ascending. So next it checked the numbers. Third, it checks the uppercase. So you can see they are the same things, like the same letters and the same characters, but the only difference is small m and big M, and here according to that it is printing it in the second place. So this is how you can sort. You can sort it with other commands as well. So right now this is the most basic functionality of the sort command. Now going back to the slides, now let us look at pipes. Okay, so pipes again is one of the most important concepts you'll have to remember. So pipes allows us to add multiple text processing filters. This is the pipe symbol which you can use. So using this particular pipe command, you can run multiple commands in a single line. So that is the use of pipe. So you can see now they are doing the same thing, cat animals. So say we want to remove the lines with no characters as well as sort the file. So let's check out the output. So here let us take a look at this example. Say we want to remove the lines with no characters as well sort this file. So now there is a space here. You can see there is a space here as well as it is not sorted. So now they're using the sed command to basically to remove the space, and then also after remove the space it'll using the pipe. You can see this is the pipe symbol. Using the pipe symbol they are running the sort command, and the sort command will sort it and give the output like this. So now let us try this. So first what they're doing is sed, and they are basically doing this $. Okay, so first thing is to give some spaces in this file. So I'll give 2 spaces. Done. So I've provided spaces. Next sed, and this is for the empty file, and then this, and this is for every single occurrence, and then I think it's D, and then we'll have to provide the file name animals.txt, and then pipe, and then sort. And now you can see the output. So the same command without sort is this. It did not sort it, it just removed the spaces in between. You can see that clearly. But with sort you can see that it sorted it as well. Now with sort we will grep all number 2s, and now you can see it is sorted as well as the spaces are removed, as well as we have grepped the number 2, that is we have searched for the number 2 pattern over here. So let's see this, and some character with a number corresponding it. So every single line should be pasted here. So basically these are what I'm trying to mention here. And now you can see every single line is pasted because every single line has a small character consecutively with a number. So that's what I mentioned here. So this is how you can use pipes. You can run multiple commands using pipes instead of typing each and every command one by one. So normally if you don't have this pipe command, what you would have done, you would have first done this and stored this in another file, then use the sort command to sort it, and once you have sorted it you can grep it, or before sorting also you can grep it. That's not the issue, but just to explain it, you will have to create another file where you store this output and then sort it and then grep it. So that is 3 different commands, but this is a single command where we can get our desired output in a single line. So this is how you use pipes.
Just a quick info, guys. Intellipaat provides Linux online training mentored by industry experts. The course link is given in the description below. So guys, we have come to the end of the session. If you have any doubts, please put down in the comment section below. We will try to answer it as soon as possible. Thanks for watching.